Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Van Buren Variety Show. I am Bob Van Buren, your host. Very glad you're here. This is episode 61. And so, wow, if you had told me last year I'd be doing 61 episodes and keep going, I probably would have said, no, you're kidding. It'll never go anywhere. I won't have anybody watching, but you're watching. And I'm talking to my regulars that tune into the show live every week. I'm also talking to those of you that maybe can't watch it live, that you watch it later, days, weeks, even months later. Really appreciate all the support. I've had great comments coming back through email and through comments on the videos. So again, I couldn't do it without you guys and girls. Make it fair, ladies and gentlemen. It's really great, and I'm hoping that you've enjoyed the show as much as I have. 61 episodes, 61 guests, and I've learned just as much as you have. There's been a lot of guests that's been on this show that I don't know really much about their background or their profession or their hobby. And to hear them speak, it's been a learning experience for me. And so being behind this microphone is almost like I'm the student and my guest is the teacher. So I've really appreciate it. And if you do like these videos, make sure you press that like button for sure. Make some comments in the comment section on these videos. And if you have a question for the guest that maybe you didn't get to see it live and ask your question, then leave a question in the comments, and I will make sure that that guest of that particular episode gets your questions, and we'll get back with you as soon as possible. So again, 61 episodes, still going with Van Buren Variety. And I couldn't be happier. So again, a special thank you to not just my guests, but to you, my audience, the ones, again, that watch it live and the ones that watch it days, weeks, months, maybe even years later. So thank you again. Hope you've all had a great week so far. I definitely have. I have started a new project, but I don't know that you would call it a project, or would you call it a hobby? So I'll let you decide. I suddenly got interested. I don't really watch award shows much. I mean, I did off and on, but I work all the time. I've got other things to do, but I got really interested in the history of the Academy Awards, specifically when it started and how long it's been going on. Well, I found out, ladies and gentlemen, the very first Academy Awards show was in 1929. It was held in Los Angeles, and get this, the award show only took 15 minutes. Can you imagine that? An award show taking 15 minutes. Unfortunately, in 1929, nobody thought to get any audio or video of it, so all we have was just the transcripts. So 1929 and every year after, there's been an Academy Award show or a presentation. As you know, they have awards for the Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Director. But what I did, I took a list of all the movies from 1929 until now. What movies won Best Picture of that year? It's quite a long list from 1929. I compiled that list, and not only did I compile the list, I am now watching those movies in order from 1929, and I'm going to go all the way till 2020s, the 2020s decade. And some of these movies I've never even heard of. And I am going to do a spinoff show, not the normal Van Buren show, but a spinoff on this channel where I'm reviewing a lot of these movies. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm guilty of this too, what I'm about to say. Unfortunately, older movies, as the new movies come, the older movies kind of get pushed back, forgotten, and literally forgotten. And a lot of these movies are really good. I mean, some of these movies, I'm up to, let's see, I started in 1929. I watch maybe one, maybe two of them a week, and I'm up to 1952 now. And a lot of the ones from the 30s and even some of the 40s, I've never heard of. And guess what? I can see why the Academy awarded some of these movies Best Picture of the Year. Now, there was a couple of them that I really didn't care for a lot. In my own personal opinion, I'm not questioning the Academy. They know a lot more than I do. They're more professional than I do. But there were two movies that I've seen so far that I've looked at it, you know, I can't see how that movie was even nominated for a Best Picture, much less won it. But again, that's my opinion. And when I start this spin-off show later on, movie reviews, I'll make sure I say in there a disclaimer. Listen, I'm not questioning the Academy. The Academy made their decision decades ago. I'm going to do what the old, you remember Siskel and Ebert, the movie reviewers? Remember they would go with thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs down. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to say, okay, yeah, this was a good movie. Yeah, thumbs up. Or I don't know if you really want to waste your 2 hours watching this. So in my opinion, no. So let me just give you, while we're waiting on our guest tonight, we do have some guests tonight. And while we're waiting on them, let me tell you about the movies that I've seen so far. And I'd like to see either in the live comments right now or later on in the comment section if you've ever heard of these movies. Not that you like them, but there's a movie that I mentioned that you recognize. Let me know. And remember, each one of these movies won Best Picture, and I'll bring the year that they won Best Picture, okay? And I won't tell you whether I liked them or not, but most of them, I will say 90%, I really like these movies. So here's a list of movies that I've seen so far that won Best Picture, and I'll just go from year order, okay? From 1928, Wings. From 1929, The Broadway Melody. From 1930, All Quiet on the Western Front. From 1931, Cimarron. From 1932, Grand Hotel. From 1933, Cavalcade. From 1934, It Happened One Night. From 1935, Mutiny on the Bounty. 1936, The Great Ziegfeld. 1937, The Life of Emily Zola. 1938, You Can't Take It With You. 1939, Gone with the Wind. 1940, Rebecca. 1941, How Green Was My Valley. 1942, Mrs. Miniver. 1943, Casablanca. 1944, Going My Way. 1945, The Lost Weekend. 1946, The Best Years of Our Lives. 1947, Gentleman's Agreement. 1948, Hamlet. 1949, All the King's Men. 1950, All About Eve. And I'm right now in the middle of watching 1951's Best Picture. The name of it was An American in Paris with Gene Kelly. I haven't finished watching that yet. So, yeah, I'll definitely give you some reviews, what I think about these movies. Again, I've had such, I mean, again, you know, and it's kind of a shame, and don't mean to get on my soapbox, but, you know, and I'm guilty too. Older movies seem like they get forgotten. I mean, I realize, you know, we have the new generation, we have new technology and new movies, and I'm not dissing the new movies at all. There's some great new movies out there that I want to see at the theater coming up. But unfortunately, I think they get pushed back. You know, people kind of forget or either don't care or even don't know who these stars are. So if I can just kind of put a public service announcement in there, kind of check out some of the older films, some of the older stars that are not with us anymore. And it's opened my eyes. I've seen some great Westerns. I've seen a couple of musicals, drama. There was suspense. There was an Alfred Hitchcock movie in there that I mentioned called Rebecca. That was really good. And even there was a Bette Davis movie in there that kept me on my toes. It was called All About Eve, about the scheming and conniving in Hollywood, which I won't give away all the details. But so I never seen those movies. Only one that I think I had seen. Let me pull my list back up again. The only one that I think I had seen that I recognized was Gone with the Wind. Obviously. A Mutiny on the Bounty, I think I read that story in high school. And Casablanca I had heard of, but never seen. So let me just give you a rundown. We're still waiting on our guests. They'll be here pretty soon. You won't have to hear me ramble on and on, I promise. Don't click off yet. Here's what's coming up. And see if you've ever heard of these movies coming up. Now, we're in the 50s, 60s, and I'll go up to the 70s. I won't just keep going, but I'm talking about the older films. So here's what's coming up. And remember, every year I give you, this movie won Best Picture at the Academy Awards for that year. So here we go, starting with 1952. Let me know if you hear or recognize any of these titles. 1952, The Greatest Show on Earth. 1953, From Here to Eternity. 1954, On the Waterfront. 1955, Marty. 1956, Around the World in 80 Days. 1957, The Bridge on the River Kwai. 1958, Gigi. 1959, Ben-Hur. 1960, The Apartment. 1961, West Side Story. 1962, Lawrence of Arabia. 1963, Tom Jones. 1964, My Fair Lady. 1965, The Sound of Music. 1966, A Man for All Seasons. 1967, In the Heat of the Night. 1968, Oliver. 1969, Midnight Cowboy. 1970, Patton. 1971, The French Connection. 1972, The Godfather. 1973, The Sting. 1974, The Godfather Part 2. 1975, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. 1976, Rocky. 1977, Annie Hall. 1978, The Deer Hunter. And 1979, Kramer versus Kramer. Now, I have to admit, some of these movies later on, the 60s, especially the 70s, I've seen, but it's been a while. So again, I'm watching them in order that they won the Academy Award for Best Picture. And again, there's more 80s, 90s, of course, in the 21st century. But again, I'll do that on my spin-off series. And hopefully, y'all have seen some of these movies. I'm seeing some things in the comments that, yeah, y'all seen some of these. I'm glad to hear some of that. Yeah, so I'm not the only one. I thought I was odd man out. But you know what? What's really bad? Well, I said bad for me, not bad for the movies. When I watch an older film, and I've seen it for the first time, maybe it's been out for 50, 60, 70 years, okay? I want to discuss it with somebody. Hey, did you see that movie from 1935, Mutiny on the Bounty? But there's two problems with that. Number one, most people younger than me have not seen that, never watched it. And a few times that I do get someone that remembers that, they're like, man, that's an old movie. I'm like, do you have to stress that? And they're like, I've seen that, but that was a long time ago. I'm just wanting to cringe. Like, okay, I'm sorry. I guess I walked around with the dinosaurs when I watched that movie, you know? There's no one, in other words, there's no one for me to discuss it with. I can't discuss what I've just seen. It's new to me, but to the world, it's ancient history, literally. So hopefully you like the older films. Still waiting for my guest to show up. I know there's technical problems. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, they're having some technical issues, y'all. So just hang on, and they will be here. And I promise you won't have to hear me much longer. I guess we'll go on then. Let's see, while we're waiting. These are best pictures in the 80s, 1980s, and the 1990s. Now, I grew up with some of these films. Now, some of them I have not seen. So let me know if these movies sound familiar. I'm going to go from 1980 to 1999. Okay? Best Picture of the Year by the Academy Awards. 1980, Ordinary People. 1981, Chariots of Fire. 1982, Gandhi. 1983, Terms of Endearment. 1984, Amadeus. 1985, Out of Africa. 1986, Platoon. 1987, The Last Emperor. 1988, Rain Man. 1989, Driving Miss Daisy. 1990, Dances with Wolves. 1991, The Silence of the Lambs. 1992, Unforgiven. 1993, Schindler's List. 1994, Forrest Gump. 1995, Braveheart. 1996, The English Patient. 1997, Titanic. 1998, Shakespeare in Love. And rounding out the 20th century at 1999, American Beauty. Some of those I've seen, some of those I haven't. So does any of those sound familiar to y'all? On a personal note, I've seen most of the ones from the 90s. I mean, well, let's see. Let me just kind of go through what I've seen before, back in the day. Forrest Gump, Braveheart, Gladiator. I'm sorry, I didn't even mention that. I'm sorry. I just snuck one in. 2000 was Gladiator. Platoon. Oh, wow. I loved Platoon. Chariots of Fire was great, but man, they're all good. I don't disagree with that list at all from the Academy. I can see why they won Best Picture that year. So anyway, so that's going to come up pretty soon. I don't have a title yet for these, I guess you could say, the spin-off show that's coming up pretty quick. I'm going to have some other people. You know, we're going to see like 2 or 3 reviewers. I'd rather have some more people comment if they've seen these movies as well. And they can say, hey, yay or nay, you know, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs down. It's been great. I've been surprised. Some of them I kind of was really dubious. I'm like, this doesn't sound like a great movie, and yet I loved it. And there's some that I thought had potential, and then let me say this: the ones that I didn't like, there are 2 movies that I did not enjoy that got Best Picture back in the 30s, I think is when it was, and nothing against the director, nothing against the actors, nothing against the costumes, the scenery. It was the storyline. I don't want to say there were holes in the story. There were some things about the story itself. I really didn't like that, or it was kind of more. It was really troubling on some of it. I was like, it was just the story I thought was either not told good enough, or one of the characterizations was just could have been better. And so that's kind of what ruined the movie. So I'm not taking anything away from the actors or the director in it. So, but you'll get those reviews pretty soon, and hopefully you will agree or disagree. And if you don't agree, then hey, let me know. Hey, Bob, the Academy has that job for a reason. So we are still having some technical issues with the guest tonight, and so just hang in there. We're still going to do an hour show. We've got 40 minutes left, but I promise you, once they come on, we will have a very, very good show. Let me kind of tell you what it's about in case you haven't already read the description. We're going to be talking about boxing, and we are trying to get a professional boxer and his manager on the show tonight. They will be live from Los Angeles, and so if you haven't read the description who it is yet, just stay tuned, and they'll be here. No, we can't, when it's a live show, you can't just, you got to move on. And so I completely understand. And if you know what, if they watch this later and then we're not able to get them on for whatever reason, definitely reschedule. Definitely want these guys on. Again, you can't fight gremlins in the system. So, well, tell you what, since we're already here, let me go ahead and give you the rest of the list of Best Picture. Now, I just gave you 2000, so every one of these that I'm going to mention won the Academy Award for Best Picture from 2000 till 2021. So now some of these I have to say I have not seen. Maybe y'all have. You can recommend it, yay or nay. I still want to watch them anyway. So starting with the 21st century, 2000, we've got Gladiator. And the Best Picture of 2001 was A Beautiful Mind. 2002 was Chicago. 2003 was The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. 2004 was $1 Million Baby. 2005 was Crash. 2006 was The Departed. 2007 was No Country for Old Men. 2008 was Slumdog Millionaire. 2009 was The Hurt Locker. 2010 was The King's Speech. 2011 was The Artist. 2012 was Argo. 2013 was 12 Years a Slave. 2014 was Birdman. 2015 was Spotlight. 2016 was Moonlight. 2017 was The Shape of Water. 2018 was Green Book. 2019 was Parasite. 2020 was Nomadland. And 2021 was Coda. And I have not seen Coda yet. That's the most recent movie and most recent Academy Award winner. But I have heard people say good things about that movie. So I'm very interested in seeing that. And I may not can go in order. I mean, I may have to skip to 2021 to watch that because that's what people are still talking about. So I would love to see that. So again, a lot of those movies I myself have never even heard of or never seen. I'm talking about from 1929 all the way till now. So it looks like it's going to be a good little list. So in fact, why don't we just make this interactive? Now, there's a lot of good older films that did not win Best Picture. I mean, I could name a whole bunch that, were not awarded anything, but they're still good movies. So tell you what, those of you that are watching this live, or those of you that are watching this later on, put something in the comments. Name an older movie, and it don't have to be a way older movie. It can be, but name a good movie that you like, and then I'll watch it, and I'll see if you think I might like it. Would love to see it. Doesn't matter what decade it is. So just let me know, and I'll definitely be able to get that on for you. So that's all the Academy Award-winning talk tonight. We'll have our guest coming up here in a few minutes, so stay tuned. I appreciate everybody staying on board, and love the comments that I've got so far about some of the movies that are here. So we'll definitely, like I said, there's going to be a spinoff of this show starting up. It'll still be Van Buren Variety, but there's going to be me and about 2 or 3 other hosts that's going to be on the air later on to talk about. It'll be kind of a roundtable type show, more of a discussion type show, more than an interview type show. So stay tuned for that. And that's the first thing we're going to be talking about is the Academy Awards, specifically the movies. Best Actor, Best Actress, and just different things we're going to talk about. You'll see about 4 or 5 of us in the panel. More of a discussion type show. No arguing. There won't be any debate. So hope you're not looking forward for that. So that's coming up. Probably this is May. So we're probably looking at the July timeframe. Okay. Well, without further ado, I'm going to bring my very special guest tonight. I am looking forward to this interview because I'm going to be learning a lot about the boxing sport as well as you, my audience, and my subscribers. So without further ado, I'm going to bring them on right now. Hello, gentlemen. How are y'all today?
Good.
Welcome. We're going to be talking about boxing, ladies and gentlemen. He needs no introduction here. Lateef Kayode. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah. And Vince, you are his manager, correct?
That is correct.
Well, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all being on the show. Welcome to the Van Buren Variety Show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, the first thing I'd like to ask you, sir, is when did you get into this boxing sport, or what got you interested in it?
Go ahead, Lateef.
Oh, I'm from Nigeria. Came to America to Olympic qualifier 2007. But eventually, I'm not going to the qualifier. I turn professional in America. So boxing is something I love. They brought me to this America. I love to do, and I know I understand boxing than anything. So, and since that time, I've been doing good. I'm a 21 win, 4 losses. I am a cruiserweight contender.
So how long would you say overall years have you been in boxing?
By 2018 is my last fight.
Okay. Wow. Been a while. So did you have like a certain person who was like your inspiration? Did you have anybody that was like you looked up to, or was your inspiration in boxing?
When I was young, back home, keep following my Tyson.
Oh
I
yeah, of
follow my
course.
Tyson. I like the aggressive. I knock people. It's just something I like to watch. All I want to do.
Right.
Um,
Well, Vince, tell us about you now. You're his manager. Kind of tell us about the professional boxing business overall.
Yeah, I got into the boxing business in 2014. I actually started uh, with a call from one of my brothers who was a
Mm-hmm.
professional boxer at the time, and he was having some issues with his manager at the time. So,
Okay.
I got involved as the brotherly figure because I'm the oldest, and it was
Mm-hmm. Big brother.
brother role, right? But time went on, I started attending his fights more, and then he started uh, coming to me with his contract and the contracts that they were going over with the promoters at the time. And then uh, one moment, this is leading up to the fight, 2015 on the Manny Pacquiao or Mayweather, the mega card.
Mm-hmm.
He had asked me to stand the gap with his manager because his manager had hurt himself and
Mm.
recovering from his surgery. And so, right when the negotiation started, he asked me to step in, and that was my start. So I've been doing it almost 10 years now, and
Oh wow!
I used
Congratulations.
thank I used to box myself. So many moons ago, and then football took over. So for me, it's been a part of my family. Um, both of my brothers, that actually Lateef knows very well, which is funny. But both my brothers fought, and then I fought, but I didn't fight professionally. I didn't take it as seriously as none of these three gentlemen did, and then came back to me.
That's great. Well, I always ask this question to my guests, and this will be a good question. I'm asking this to both of y'all too. There might be some young man watching this right now, and maybe he's thinking about it. He'd like to go into boxing. Maybe he thinks he's got what it takes, but he doesn't know where to start or kind of what to do. So, to him, what would you gentlemen recommend to someone who's thinking about becoming wants to be a professional boxer?
my professional boxing is beginning from the amateur. It's
Okay.
just something like you spawn and you represent your country. And when you get into the professional, you are representing yourself. Um, Boxing is a fun and you call your family, your friend. It's a game. It's a game. You know, how you think fast, how you quick, how there's some, I don't know how to, there's something fun. People come there smiling, yelling, come on, let's go, punch out. See your family yelling, screaming, happy, dancing. I remember when I was, I went to World African Games
Uh-huh.
to fight 2007 for qualifying to Olympic again. So see my country whistle, drum, dancing, but I don't know if I'm winning because the point they can't see how many points you throw, how many points you land, but I can't see because I'm fighting the ring. But
Right.
the fans, the people can see from my side. So me, me looking my country, bloody whistle, drumming, dancing. So, something it's fun. I
You
love
got
it.
you got the adrenaline rushing too. That's probably what keeps you going too. What about you, Vince? What would you say to like a young man watching this program right now, and he thinks he's got what it takes to go into boxing? And where would you say he starts his training, et cetera? Just what advice could you give?
Well, I would say to any young man or woman that wants to box in this day and age, because there are a lot of female boxers that are.
Yeah, that's true. Don't want to hold. Yeah, man or women boxers. Yes.
There are a lot of them that are really wonderful. First of all, make sure that it's something that you really want to do, because boxing is probably the most physically taxing
Oh yeah.
that sport. I mean, outside of MMA, right? But it's physically taxing because you have to work if you have a job, or if it's a kid, as you mentioned, you got to go to school, do your homework, then you got to commit the time that you need in the gym to be good, and then you have to overcommit to time in the gym if you want to be great, and then you have to have all the equipment, the gloves, the shorts, the shoes. You have to have somewhere to train. So as a kid, you have to depend on your parents or your older brothers or your older sisters or neighbors or whoever, just to be able to be there, to be willing to help.
Absolutely.
And once you get past that phase, the next thing that you really have to pay attention to is just if you're willing to get punched in the face.
Yeah, that's part of it, obviously.
Because it looks great to win, but by the time you get to an actual bout, even if it's amateurs, you've gone through 2-3 months of training, right? So by the time you get to the actual fight night or fight day, and then someone jabs you in the face or something, or in the stomach, that's when do I really want to do this sets in. And if you get past that and you know this is something you want to continue doing, then you just have to stay focused and stay committed. So it's definitely something that you want to make sure that you're focused and committed to.
Absolutely. Anyway, I would think it would take not only just physically, but your mental state as well. You got to really want it, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think someone like Lateef, who was recently a title contender back in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So you figure 4 years ago, he was at the top of the food chain.
Sure, absolutely.
Within 6 months, he'll be back on the top of the food chain again.
Absolutely, he will.
Yeah, he definitely will. So the drive and the skill and the determination all has to be there, and it just has to mesh all at the same time, right?
That's good advice. Well, Lateef, let me ask you, how do you prepare? I mean, what's your exercise? Your training, lifting. I mean, how many hours per day or per week do you lift weights? Do what kind of training do you do to prepare for your match?
Well, I just started my training camp,
Mm-hmm.
running around like 6 miles. So
6 miles. Oh,
yeah,
wow. Wow.
I'll do more than that, but right now I need to get myself back to what I used to run 10, 12 miles when I fight for championship 2012. But I'm not there. I just started back up, and I just started go to gym to
Mm-hmm.
3 hours in the gym. So learning some more skill. Um, that's what I've been doing.
In fact, I got a picture that I found off the internet. Just so I can show, ladies and gentlemen, in order to be a boxer, you have to be in 10 top form, which Lateef obviously is. And here's a picture to prove it. When was that taken, Lateef? You remember that one?
This is when I fight in is it Russia?
Uh-huh.
Is it Russia?
Yeah, that was it.
Russia, 2015.
Wow. Yeah, you got to stay in physical form for sure. What would you say, Lateef, in all the boxing matches that you've had, who would you say back then was kind of the most difficult opponent that you've had?
I don't. Like my coach told me, because he told me that no fight is easy. Every fight
Oh, I'm sure.
you
Yeah.
you step in the ring with you is not easy. It's always hard. is our game, the way I play the game, not that hard. The way I win is the one. Some game is difficult, but a lot of game I did, they don't like aggressive. I'm an aggressive guy.
Mm-hmm.
I can take punch. I will keep coming. You punch me, I'm coming. I will come, I will keep punching you till when you down or the referee stop the fight. Cause I'm not gonna run. I don't run. I don't grab people. So I can't remember because when I go with aggressive with run. Like I told you, I've been watching my Tyson. So
Yeah, sure.
that
It's a good one. Yeah.
if you watch my fight, kind of similar, I come so hard. But it's the fight that I know is that when I fight 2012, I fight for I fight Anthony Tava for world title. I do a lot. I do good for that fight. Um, but all I know that the punch, each punch, each punch is so strong. But later on, I find out it's on steroid. When somebody
Oh, really?
when
Oh,
somebody use steroid for you, it's like a robot.
I'm sure. Oh, I bet. Yeah.
So that's the reason why. That's the only one I still remember. He punched me. I feel that punch.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm sure. Yeah.
so,
Well, I'd like to hear. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lateef. What were you going to say?
but everything so far is my game plan. Is game plan with the coach, with everything. If I don't, the game plan we make, he give me the victory to to win the fight.
Let's see. We got some other people coming on. Do we know? Let's see. Well, it went off. Is this? I saw someone log in. Is that you too, Vince, or do you know who this is? Or no? Okay, I'll take it off. I thought maybe somebody else was trying to log in. So, let me talk about something else. I'd like for y'all to kind of both tell me about. Tell us, I mean, the audience about the WBA Cruiserweight title. I'd like to hear more about that.
Yeah, I fight for I'm a WB NABA. I have a NABA title in my hand. NABA it connects me to WBA
Mm-hmm.
mandatory. So I'm mandatory. I don't know why the Russian they're gonna be mandatory for WBA. And then I know that it's no that's not true. I got the title in my hand, the NABA.
Mm-hmm.
NABA, he connect me to WBA. Why this Russia is going to fight for WBA? So, I don't know, but nobody fight for me, nobody talk about it. So for me, I had to go to Russia to fight for WBA for the Russia. And I went to Russia in 2015,
Uh-huh.
fight in Russia. To be honest, I do really, really good. Really good. Even my corner is telling me in 4 more rounds, you are going to be a world champion. So I get up in my corner, I go to for round 8.
Mm-hmm.
Round 8, I got punched in the temple right here.
Oh, ouch.
My guy is there. He's
Uh-uh.
over
Mm.
looping me right here. I wind down and I get up back up.
All right.
I'm not falling by or wobble, but he come after me again with a Russian punch. I keep my guy up. So they stop the fight. So
Wow.
sometimes we call that home advantage because there was lo- there was losing the fight.
Uh-huh.
They thought they were gonna lose the fight. So they got opportunity on me wind down and get up. So that's sort of I lost the fight 2015. I go there. I went to Russia to to fight for the title to get the title from there. But I lost the fight.
Wow. Interesting. I know you've seen a lot, Lateef, and that kind of brings back to my next question to both you and to Vince. When we see boxing here in America, I guess the question I'm asking, are boxing rules different in each country, or are they pretty much universal all over?
They're universal.
Is it?
I mean, you have different mandates set by the alphabet soup, which is like the IBF, the WBO, the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? But the rules are the rules. Like if Lateef was to fight somebody in 2 weeks, they would agree to the size of the glove. Most more times than not, it'd be 16-ounce gloves. Sometimes they like 18-ounce gloves.
Okay.
The size of the ring, a traditional ring or a larger ring, you know. The main thing they would like they meaning myself, Lateef, and our team and their team would agree on the rounds. So with being this far in his career, it would either be 10, 12, or something that rarely happens, but it's still allowable as a 14 or 16. So more time,
Wow.
12. And then, you just, everything else is pretty much the same, right?
And that actually was you kind of answered my next question too, Vince. I was going to ask you, what is should I say, an average number of rounds per boxing match?
Yeah, that's a great question. So if it's a prospect or a younger person, they start off at 4 rounds, then they go to 6, and by the time you're at 10 rounds, had you've had maybe 13 to 14, like 10 to 14 pro fights,
Okay.
and your body is used to the wear and tear of being in the ring, and your body is definitely conditioned to fight for that long.
Hmm. So it kind of depends, really. Not. Okay.
Definitely.
I was going to ask you now. There's something coming up in August that I'd like to ask both of you about. Pay-per-view Showtime, the heavyweight fight in August against Mexican pro boxer Andy Ruiz. So what day in August is this going to be? Do we know?
Yeah, so actually that he's fighting on Andy's card. He's fighting right.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, Andy is fighting King Kong Ortiz, and it's on
Okay.
Saturday, August 13th in Los Angeles, California. So, but Lateef is considered to be a co-main event. We don't have it yet, but yeah, that's when he's making his return to the ring, and this is when
Right.
some of what he's been working on that day.
Let me promote that to my subscribers and to my audience, both who are watching this live right now and those that will be watching this days and weeks from now. August the 13th
Yes, sir.
is the day. It's on Showtime pay-per-view, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see an awesome fight and a great comeback, that's the program you want to see. August 13th on Showtime pay-per-view. So don't miss it. I'm looking forward to it myself, Lateef, and wish you the best of luck too.
Thank you. I can't wait.
I want to tell you, I'm going to go over some of your highlights that I got, and kind of let you tell me about it. That I found some trivia kind of about you on let's see, December 3rd, 2010. You knocked out American Edward Charles Perry on a Showtime boxing card. Do you remember that fight?
Yeah.
How many rounds did that go?
6 rounds.
6 rounds. It was a KO. I mean,
That's a KO.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's probably a fight that I would like to go back and watch myself. So, how many championships have you won, Lateef? What are some of the championships you've won?
I have an NABA, NABF, NABO, WBA. So I have all this contender. Nobody take it from me. Nobody beat me. I defend my title all the time. When I move to heavyweight, I have to drop it because that weight, if I'm going to heavyweight, I can't take the title to heavyweight. So I drop it. I move to heavyweight to go fight in the heavyweight. Before I came back,
Mm-hmm.
they took it. So that's it.
Okay. Well, Vince, let me ask you a question now. We talked about the boxing match, with Lateef and what he has to go through in the training, but kind of on your end as a manager, I mean, you have a lot of responsibilities and things to do. So, can you put us into your world? Like, how do you handle all the, I guess, bookings and regulations and licensing? So, kind of tell us about kind of what you do as a manager.
My day normally starts about 5 in the morning.
Starts at 5.
Yeah.
Oh.
When I know I haven't had a call about Lateef in about a month, which is cool. But normally when I have a call from Nigeria about Lateef, it'll be maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the morning due to the time difference.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And then I'll do all my East Coast calls and everything in the morning. Then I'll go to the gym afterward. Then I'll do breakfast. And then I'll start with my clients that are in the South. So I have 2 young men that are actually fighting this Saturday.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I have Marco Quiones and Kedrick, Big Snipe White. They're both fighting Saturday in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'll work on whatever I need to work on with them because it's already 3 hours ahead. And then I'll come to my client that's in Texas, which is Sammy Third. He actually just fought on PBC on the Errol Spence undercard.
That's where I'm at. I'm in Texas.
Oh, yeah. So he's in Dallas. So
That's where I'm at.
We were just there. All right.
Oh, wow.
I'll deal with everything I need to deal with him. Then by that time, I try to take like a break or a lunch of some sort, and then I'll work on my guys that I have on the West Coast, which is Lateef, and my guy in Canada named Sabri Farouk, who's fighting on Saturday in Atlanta as well. It's his first pro fight as a professional boxer. He was a part of the Canadian Olympic team. So I work them all day, and then the end of the day, I normally go back to Lateef's stuff because what we're dealing with him is so intricate right now. So it takes a lot of time. And, again, with the time difference in Nigeria or if it's in London or whatever, it's so many moving pieces.
So you have a lot of clients. I mean, you have a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't see how you juggle all of it.
I have a client who is a heavyweight boxer. He's starting his own promotional company.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, his first fight is on this Saturday as well. And then, gearing up towards Lateef starting his own promotional company, but focusing on what we're going to focus on in the continent of Africa.
That's good.
It can be a lot some days.
Just kind of curious, and you talked about the time zone between here, like in the United States and Nigeria. What is the time difference there?
8 hours different.
8 hours.
8 hours. So they're 8 hours ahead, I guess?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So, yeah. So, again, I guess what, 5 o'clock to you would be, 1 p.m. in the afternoon over there.
Yeah, exactly. Which is everybody's already up. And
Lateef, let me ask you, in your boxing career, and not just the career period, but overall, what all countries have you been in?
I've been in China. I've been in Morocco. I've been in Egypt. I've been in Ghana. I've been in Togo. So I've been in Russia. And I've been American.
Well traveled. Did you box in all those countries as well?
Yes.
You did. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you find it a little more different as far as, the boxing match goes in other countries? I mean, I know we talk about the rules are the same, but does like, I guess what I'm saying, the atmosphere or, the way they box, is it different in other countries or pretty much the same?
Yes, it's different
Oh,
because
is it?
the technique we have there when we're doing the African, we have a we do more power aggressive. So when we travel to Morocco or Spain, they're, they're similar to American, like a technique,
Mm-hmm.
speed. But we Africa, we kind of come with the power muscle, but then they don't have no power like us, but they have a more skin,
Oh,
weight,
sure.
appointment, something like that. But some of them get tired, give up. But some of them win because his speed, he have a technique, he must bomb a weave in and out. So it's different.
Well, besides boxing, which I know is your life, Lateef, is there any other kind of like hobbies or things you like to enjoy doing?
Well, I
Or is
play
boxing your whole life?
I play soccer. Soccer. I
Oh,
like,
huh.
um, that's what I was doing before I came to boxing.
Oh, really? All right.
Unless I play with my kid with basketball,
Uh-huh.
and
Sure.
a little bit. That's it.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's
just
what
so wow. I really wish you, Lateef, the best of luck. And let me ask you, well, actually both of y'all, we talked about this being a pay-per-view event on Showtime next month, August 13th.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Is there still a way people can see it in person? Has it already been sold out? Or if they want it, can they come see it live?
Oh
Do y'all
yeah,
know?
the tickets haven't even gone on sale
Oh, they
yet.
haven't gone on sale yet. Okay.
So the
So
tickets they normally go on sale 6 weeks before the fight. That's when the fighters really start training.
where is it going to be held? I know it's in Los Angeles, but where in
They,
LA? I'm sorry, where?
well, I don't know what it's called. I think it's called crypto
Okay.
the old Staples Center. That's what I know.
Oh, they can find that. Yeah, for sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the LA area or you're going to be in Los Angeles around the August area, you might want to come check that out. August 13th, Lateef, cheer him on, tell him that you saw him live here, And if you can't come to LA, then definitely check out the Showtime pay-per-view coming up. And again, that's August the 13th. And I know we're going to see some great things from Lateef. So
Yes.
we're looking forward to it. How many matches, Vince, are they going to be in that card overall?
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
And that pay-per-view event, is there several like boxing matches, different people? How many boxings are going to be matches?
So most cards have about 12 fights. They have four,
It.
4 or 5 that are untelevised.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Then
okay.
they'll have the televised portion, which is normally like another 4 or 5. It just depends. But for this one, it'll probably only be 8, 7 or 8.
Wow. Worth every penny, I know. I like this. I've always liked to see good comebacks, and so that's what I'm seeing in this one too. Let's see. Uh, so going forward, I mean, let me ask you this, both of y'all. In the professional boxing, is there, I guess, an average age of the boxers? I mean, what would you say the average age is
Yeah, that's a good.
overall?
Uh, Boxing is like most other sports
Like football,
where
maybe?
people meet their prime. They start their prime about 27,
Okay.
27. Boxing, the prime can go until 43. You can go until
Oh, really? Okay.
633. It just depends. And then with the heavier boxers, they fight longer because the last thing to go in boxing is your power, right?
That's true. Hmm.
And in cruiserweights and heavyweights, they're pretty much based on power, right? So they fight some of, I mean, Muhammad Ali and all, Frazier and all, they all fought till 40 plus,
Oh, at least. Yeah, for sure.
right? So it just depends on the individual after all.
See? So, wow. I want to promote it again. Comment section. Remember, August 13th, Showtime pay-per-view. Also, if you're in the LA area, it might be more worth it to watch this fight live. So, wish I could be there, but, work dictates. So,
Because this fight, it means a lot to me, for me, and I know
absolutely.
many people that know that I'm a warrior. Since last time, 4 years ago, they are waiting for me to see what I'm bringing to the table this fight. So I know how the game is going, and I know what it takes to get there. So I'm
Yeah.
ready. It's gonna be great fight.
Well, Lateef, I can just tell just by talking to you, you've got the determination to go. I mean, like I said earlier, which y'all know more than I do, it's not just physical, but it's the mental attitude, and you've got all the, the mentality and the determination I can see. So, best of luck to you out there.
Thank you.
Well, that's all the questions that I had, Vince and Lateef. Is there anything else that y'all would like to add for my subscribers and the user and the live audience?
No, thank you for having us, Mr. Van Buren. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. And both Vince and especially you, Lateef, wish you the best of luck in LA, and I'll definitely be watching, and we'll all be cheering you on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a great evening.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And ladies and gentlemen, that unfortunately is going to do us for the Van Buren Variety Show. I hope you've had a great episode. I've had some great guests tonight. I mean, and boxing, is one of those very sports you both have to have the physical and the mental capabilities. And Lateef absolutely has that. He's got a great manager, just from what I've heard from Vince talking. So you've got a winning team there. So remember, August 13th, Showtime pay-per-view. And if you're in the LA area, make sure you see it live. That'd probably be even better. And make sure you cheer Lateef on. So every little bit counts. So that's going to do it for me tonight. I appreciate the guests that I had tonight. I learned a lot about boxing just by talking to these two gentlemen. So I hope you did too. Remember, I am on the show once a week and talk about a person's profession, a hobby, a how-to segment, maybe even some music coming up. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you not just watch this show, but like it. Press that like button. I like all the likes you can get. And subscribe to Van Buren Variety because, again, not only will you see upcoming events and interviews, you will see a spinoff series coming up pretty soon. So hopefully you'll enjoy that as well. So keep in touch. And very, very glad you tuned in tonight. And make sure, again, you tune in next week because I'll have another guest with another interesting topic. And we'll all learn something again. So this is Bob Van Buren for the Van Buren Variety Show. Y'all have a great week, and I will see you next episode. Good night.